I am not going to be singing Shonen Yo. Welcome back to Memory of Heroes.
God damn it,
Wait, you're
Sam.
not going to be? I was told that you were going to sing Shonen Yo for 30 minutes and 36 seconds. Is that not what's happening?
I have a horrible singing voice. You do not want me to sing much of anything, much less Shonen Yo. But today I'm joined by Niko and Die, as you might have already heard. And it turns out that this place has ride vendors for some reason, which is weird to me because those were made by the Kagami Foundation and not by Foundation X, but hey, whatever, so...
Smuggler.
What if Foundation X got into a ride vendor business? They were just like adjacent to all of this, watching it going on and going, God, you know what? There's really money in this vending machine thing.
Right.
Or
But yeah.
they're just like making fakes of them. It's like, you know, slightly. It's basically the same thing.
The
It's
off-brand
just,
ones.
the off-brand that you barely can tell the difference.
Everything
yeah.
just self-destructs a little bit faster, falls apart a little easier.
But yeah,
Yeah.
this is
I don't
actually probably my favorite mechanic in this game, which is the Candroids. They are actually little assistants who help you during fights.
Oh,
They don't
fantastic.
really do much, but well, it's still fun to just have them flying around and do
Yeah.
things.
And they actually do help because they all inflict different status effects, but that's not really what makes them helpful. What makes them helpful is that they stun enemies. So, yeah.
All of them do?
Yeah, all of them. All of them do stun lock,
Okay.
so... And all of them have various different ways of which they hit things, but yeah, like the octopus here, which is our first one, he causes confusion, which doesn't really mean much of anything, so... Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, these guys that Oz is demolishing look pretty confused to begin with.
Right.
They don't seem like they're that on top of what's happening in the game.
Yeah.
Nobody told them that they're not filming a demo for the game.
Right, yeah.
Ah, these poor guys.
Yeah, Yummies are probably hands down the easiest people to beat up in this whole game, which is saying a lot, because the very first enemies you ever meet don't really do much.
I mean, that's kind of part of the course in these kinds of shows, anyway.
Yeah. But yeah, we're going to be playing as Oz for a while. I hope you get used to seeing him, because we're basically coming up onto the first section of the game where you are forced to beat him. So...
You say forced like Oz is someone that's not fun to play as and or envision yourself as.
Oh,
do you not like Oz? Do you not, or do you just not like playing as Oz?
I hate being forced to play as Oz. like as a character, I love AG. He's my favorite character in Oz. But in terms of a video game, he gets a lot of forced screen time. A lot.
So is there something about his game mechanic that you dislike? I mean, is there like something between him and Double where you're just like, I can't believe I can't do X or I have to do Y?
Well, I just hate being forced to do a specific thing in games in general, but on a more me basis, I am a completionist. So not collecting and not evenly leveling everybody drives me nuts. Like, oh,
There are background numbers that aren't the same, and you're just like, I can't play the game now.
pretty much.
Yeah, essentially, it's like when you're playing this game normally, it's actually very difficult to keep the levels equal without going out of your way to specifically use certain characters whenever you can. You don't use them whenever you want to, because if you do this whenever you want to, they will be way out of whack with their levels.
Yep.
Okay.
But yeah, it turns out...
I guess I'm just used to games that have a design... I was going to say, I think I'm used to games that have like a design element where everything is just auto-leveled, where whatever character you're leveling, everybody else levels to keep up with that. But I guess that's not how Bandai wanted to do it.
Yeah, that's not how this game does things. But yeah, we're now learning that our big bad here has revived all the enemies of both Double and O's and is playing them all. And I like how the bad guys react to this, where on the Double side they're all like, psh, whatever, we're gonna do Guy Impact anyway. And then here with the Greed, they're just like, bro, if you provide us core medals, we'll just stab you later. But you know, that's fine.
It's nice to see them all together. I love the villains in O's. They are maybe my favorite villain group of anybody. Like, just the way that it started with this group of villains, and you got to see them change and grow over the season. instead of just like knocking them off one at a time and then like some other crazy villain shows up at the end. It really is like they feel like they have a whole arc.
I liked that they were basically an evil Power Ranger team. that was my favorite aspect.
Sure. As always with the Kobayashi cast, there's a lot going on.
Yeah,
a lot of choices she made in these characters.
Yeah, that's one thing I can definitely give Kobayashi's writing in general. At least in my experience, I haven't seen literally everything she's made, but you know, in all the shows of hers that I've seen, she's really good at character balance. I noticed.
Yeah,
so that...
like
I'm gonna get an off that T-pose.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's great at just creating a group of characters where literally any of them could probably be the lead, and you'd have just as good of a show.
Yeah. But yeah, for what little time we have, I'm still going to be playing as Joker because his levels need to go up for a specific part of the game later on. But I assure you, we'll be forced to play as O soon enough. Oh yes. So...
Gotta pick up all of those pitiful SD cards.
Oh yeah, but since we're talking about Kamen Rider stuff and you know it's just combat, Niko, there's been a question on our audience's mind ever since you first showed up, and I demand an answer for our people right now. Okay?
No.
What? What? You don't even know what I'm gonna ask. What? Jeez. So okay. The question is, why is Kiriya your favorite character in all of Kamen Rider?
My answer stands.
just no, just no.
Just not even. Just no.
But you love Kiriya so much, like you couldn't stop talking about him when you were watching Hibiki.
I mean, I was watching it. You told me not to watch it past the point when he joined, and then I couldn't stop watching because it was just such a train wreck.
Yeah. But no, I don't think I've met a single person who's like, oh man, Kiriya's my favorite character. Like, I don't think that's a thing.
I mean, I like Kiriya a whole lot.
You disappoint me.
Really amazing.
You disappoint me.
I could spend literally the rest of this Let's Play talking about why Kiriya is a pretty solid character in a pretty solid part of a pretty solid show.
God.
I'll save you from it. I won't talk about it. Just know that I have that in my back pocket.
Jeez, who are you? Fish sandwich? God. Like,
where's the music?
He's not my favorite character, A, and he's not even my favorite Kiriya in that franchise, B. But I think he's got positives. I think he has genuine, like, things that he's adding to that show and to that narrative that are valuable. And I also will admit that I know that that's an unpopular opinion. I know that. I'm aware of that.
Yeah, I definitely can't agree with you there, unfortunately. To me, Kiriya was nothing more than an entitled brat, so...
He is, but there's more to him than that. You're not wrong, but that's also missing the point. Anyway, what's going on in this video game that doesn't have Kiriya from Hibiki in it?
This part honestly doesn't make too much sense. We come up to this part, and Ai's like, my sensors are funky, but I think I sense something up ahead. And so, for some reason, Eiji's first idea is, I got it, guys. Let's split up. And I'm like, okay. Like, even Double here is like, alright then, I guess.
That seems like a weird thing to do.
Yeah, so... But it's blatantly just the game being like, well, if you haven't played as O's yet, we're going to force you to do it now, so that way you can get used to him. Like, that's literally all this is.
We're going to force you to be at least this high level.
Yeah, so...
To get on the next roller coaster.
Also, Die, maybe you can answer this? Although, now's not the opportune time to ask it, technically, because we're in a fight right now, but, this area, I swear I have heard the song that plays in this area in one of the shows before, but I cannot place it. So, if you or anyone else watching this knows, or maybe I just totally am misremembering and I'm getting it confused with something else, please let me know, because like I swear I've heard this tune somewhere. But
yeah, I'm terrible at inset music, and like even if I could tell you the show, I couldn't even tell you the name of the song in the way that I guarantee you anybody following this thread and this video series will be like, yes, it's this song from these episodes of this series, and I'll just be like, that's great, and they'll provide the YouTube link so you can just watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do you mean the fight song or the...
No, not the fight song, the area song, where it's like the simple doo-doo, like over and over, like that. I swear I've heard it in one of the shows before, and I just can't place it.
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to tell you.
Yeah.
So these things that Oz is destroying right now, are these electronic drum kits? What is he blowing up?
They are drones. I don't know if they're from a specific show or not. I assume they're from Build, although maybe I'm totally wrong. I have not seen Build yet, so...
I mean, I don't feel like Build fought a lot of drones, but maybe he did once or twice. Like, I don't think of any show as having like a lot of like weird autonomous robots that the characters destroy. Do you know what I mean? It's usually like humanoid things.
Yeah.
Usually.
Maybe they're just unique to this game. Maybe they decided, hey, we need a really annoying enemy to add into this, and so they came up with drones. You know.
It was either gonna be birds or drones.
Yeah, pretty much.
At least birds would be kind of on brand. Like, you have Ankh, who's a bird guy, and you have like Ankh Lost, who's a bird guy. So they could,
you know who they should have had? They should have hired the guy who was dressed up as a bird in Space Sheriff Spirits, just waving his arms like an idiot on top of the machine to make it run.
Yes. Classic Toku. Amazing stuff.
Yeah, there's a PS2 game based off of it, and it couldn't not possibly have been more flawless.
Check out Niko's stream of Space Sheriff Spirits. Even if you know literally nothing about the Metal Heroes franchise, it's a wonderful game.
It's just hilarious because they went out of their way to make it look as cheap as possible, to the point where it's like it probably actually cost them more money to do it in the cheap-looking way than actually animated. Like there is a lot of motion capture done for it, which makes it look like the actual show. And the amount of detail in the models is so weird because they have like scant faces of people on them, and just like you can see zippers on the costumes. Like the costumes of all of the monsters are done specifically to look plastic and cheap.
Yeah,
and it's glorious.
They put a lot of effort into that game. And here we get our next accelerator, which is EX Charge Booster, so you can charge up your EX gauge faster. Not really useful right now.
I'm sorry, is that a manila envelope?
Yes, that's what all the accelerators look like.
Did Oz just find a manila envelope in a briefcase in a cave?
In a tree.
In a forest.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. oh, game design. Oh golly.
They are just everywhere. Like somebody just stashed them all over the places.
Maybe is this the helicopter that exploded in the double movie with Eternal? Like Foundation X has a helicopter that Eternal just like blows up in the beginning, and it was like full of briefcases, and they just fell all over this forest.
I mean, that would be as plausible as anything, to be honest with you.
I like that idea. Like the briefcases are just in perfect condition, scattered in all of these random places.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, I can see Foundation X, like whatever their secret briefcases are like the highest quality, and then like all of their gear and helicopters and everything else is just like garbage. Like all their budget is into these amazing briefcases.
And they all have cloaking technology too, because even if you go to the area where they're at before you sense where they are, they won't be there. You have to specifically see them with the Den sensor first.
Oh my god.
So, anyway, look who it is again. It's the Magma Dolphins. We have to fight him as O's this time and not double. So yeah, he's now a mini boss and not a full boss anymore. He's been downgraded already.
So wait, you fight this guy as a full boss, and then you fight him later in the game as like a midpoint boss?
No. You find him pretty early on as like sort of a mid boss Like he gets a cutscene introduction. That's what it is.
Oh,
And now he's turned into a sort of regular enemy. Just like regular but strong enemy.
okay.
Yep, and unfortunately, because we only have one form, that being Tatoba, we can't DPS destroy him like we did with Double, so this is going to take a minute. So, I want to say real quick, because I feel like I'll forget otherwise. To those of you who are following along the thread, thank you. I appreciate it, and your inputs are always great. So, keep it up. And I like that I like that I'm consistently surprising people with my trivia knowledge. So...
See, you say good things about the thread, but I saw somebody make a joke about Axel dating the girl cat from Garfield, and that's just—it's unhelpful.
Oh yeah,
off topic.
he's the bored loser. We ignore him. Don't worry about him. Just pretend he's not there. You know.
I always do.
But yeah, I can't believe nobody knew who Terui's first kiss was. I figured everybody would know that one. Weird.
I definitely wanted to go back and watch that episode now because I'm like, how did I forget about that?
Yeah, no joke. That is my favorite two-parter of Double, and it's one I think you would really love too, Niko, because like there's two plots that go on in that, and plot A is all about the protagonist helping the victim of the week make a really shitty movie. like it's purposely got like bad acting in it and everything. I love it.
I love that. I love it whenever like real actors do like shitty acting, and they do a good job at it.
Right.
One of the best ever O stories is the 1000th Kamen Rider episode story, where they have to remake collectively like the first Kamen Rider episode, and they're terrible at it.
I love that one too. Yeah, I know exactly what Ankh as the great leader is amazing.
Yeah. Just how, and like Goto, I think it has to have a part in it, and he's just terrible because he's unbelievably stiff and he doesn't like doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just good stuff. Good stuff in that episode. That two-parter is, of like all the anniversary style stuff, it's one of the better ideas they ever had.
Oh yeah. Hashtag bring back the net movies. just saying.
Oh, forever. Oh my god. Best thing in Wizard is the net movies.
I don't know, man. I still say it's Shunpei. I know everyone hates me for that opinion, but...
Look, Wizard's a good show, but the net movies are incredible. They are sublime. They are some of the smartest, funniest, weirdest stuff I've ever seen.
Thinking of things that, or speaking of things that are not sublime, though.
Did he just get a phone call?
Moshi Moshi.
He's looking at that thing like he's trying to duck a phone call. I don't want to get this.
But yeah, we found the stag phone. But instead of immediately running back with the phone to Double, I senses an enemy up ahead, so we figure, hey, let's go fight it instead. Sounds like a great plan. So
there is an invisible wall there. I cannot go.
Yeah.
Like I've been complaining about the invisible walls, but it like really shows in areas like these.
Yeah, it does.
They really didn't care.
They really wanted you to go down this hallway, man.
What even happened?
The camera is what happened.
That was awesome, though.
Oh yeah.
It looked pretty dynamic.
Like it basically looked like you dodged 2 attacks at the perfect time, based off of the sound effects that you got.
Yeah.
But killed off just one of them.
Yeah, because you can't unfortunately cannot dodge multiple attacks at once. It only register 1. So at least when it comes to counterattack timing. So you know.
Yeah.
Now, if you could multi-dodge it once and like one-shot 3 people at once, that'd be amazing. Like.
That sounds like Super Tatobot. Maybe you could do that. Not with regular Tatobot. That's ridiculous.
Rebel up. So yeah, we're level 3 now. Levels with O's and Double are not an issue ever at all. Like if at some point somehow those two are behind in levels, don't worry, the game will make sure they'll catch up. So, but yeah, we're just we're making our way downtown, going for the boss, and enemies with guns are not very nice, but you don't really need to focus on, or at least I didn't need to focus on dodging too much because we have multiple heal boxes around us, so it's not really an issue.
I remember
figuring out where to put their shields.
Right.
I remember specifically in this game, there was like one character who joins you, who like was from a season that was still ongoing at the time, right?
Yeah. You're talking about
And so
01.
Yeah, so it becomes very obvious that they didn't want to disclose anything about him.
Yeah. Yeah. Like,
I mean, I wonder how much they even knew about it when they were making the game. Like, it's different divisions, so they might have been like, what does this guy look like? What's his deal? And it's like, well, here's the breakdown, here's the suit, here's the actor. Figure it out.
Could be.
but yeah.
Like, that sort of thing can go two directions. Either they will make something completely different and unique and interesting, or they will just not do anything at all. And this game sort of ends on the other end of the spectrum.
That said, they did put in more effort on him than what I would have expected, because there is some really neat stuff you can do with him. Like, I'll be sure to show that off when he shows up later. But for anyone...
but he always gets the short end of the stick when it comes to upgrades and importance in the plot and stuff like that.
Yeah. That said, though, for anyone who has not seen 01 yet, don't worry, this game does not spoil a thing. Unless you count, oh, he has multiple forms as a spoiler, then, you know, sorry, but, like...
Wait, what?
I know.
What? A power Toku show where a character has more than just one form?
Yeah, I know, unheard of.
I mean,
but, like...
next you're going to say there's power-ups and endgame villains and multiple riders? That doesn't sound right.
Yeah, I know.
And then you're going to tell me that they combine their weapons somehow. Jeez.
Yeah, and here's Uva, who is, if you're not counting Ankh, he is Ryo's favorite of the Greed, if I remember correctly. So, okay, we'll face ya.
God, I love that song. I love that sound effect. It's my favorite sound effect.
Well, I'm glad it's your favorite because you hear it every episode.
Immediately I'm like, oh, that's catchy, and then like 40 episodes later, no, it's in my brain now forever.
So did you get up and dance every time he henshin then? Is that what you're telling me?
I didn't, but I honest to God, probably as of episode 6 of that series through the end, I would, every time he'd henshin, I go, ta-to-ba, like, yeah, every time.
But yeah, this is Uva. He's not a particularly tough boss. The only attack of his that might give you trouble is when he does his own rider kick against you. Because here's the thing with dodging in this game, and I think it's part of the reason why some people have trouble with it. It's because for some attacks, not a lot of them, but specific ones, you have to dodge a peculiar way or the game doesn't count it. So like when Uva does his dive kick, you kind of have to dodge like forward and off to the side a little bit. Otherwise, the game will be like, you didn't dodge it properly, and you'll get hit. So, yeah, just be careful.
Yeah, like you have specific dodge directions. It's kind of like Tales of Graces in that regard.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that's like the only attack of his that might like give you trouble. Otherwise, he's not that bad. So. That said, though, his AI is hilariously passive. Like, like look at that. Like.
He's so far away.
Right.
Probably my least favorite Greed, I gotta say, probably.
Oh, wow. You and Ryo would have words on that then, assuming I'm remembering his taste correctly. Because, like, if I remember right with him, Uva is his favorite and Kazari was the one he hated, so, yeah.
Oh, no, yeah. I mean, like, best to worst, I'd probably go Gamel, Mazul, the Tiger one, and then Uva.
Oh, Gamel was my favorite, hands down. After that, though,
great.
After that, though, I'd kind of just put them all equal. I guess if I had to choose the least liked, I guess it'd be Kazari, but I don't like despise him. So.
Sure. Yeah, I think he's interesting in his use in the endgame of that series. I thought was pretty fun, as a way to kind of keep the core greed still involved in what was going on in the plot.
Yeah. Uva, though, I'll definitely give props in that he was the only one who was playing the long con, and that was awesome. I really liked that episode.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, the one where it was revealed, he was like, yeah, I stayed out of this, and I just had a bunch of people harvest like 5 billion cell medals for me. And I was like, dude, that's really smart. Like, dude.
He was in a whole different show.
Yeah. But yeah, no, Gamma was the best. I'll be sure to gush about him when he shows up later on in the game. Oh, yes.
Wait, you don't have to fight him, do you?
Unfortunately, yes.
Ugh.
You know, I love Tatuba's rider kick. It looks so cool, but like the show, he never did it. He did it like twice.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like, look how cool this is.
So cool.
This is not part of the budget.
Pretty much, yeah. But instead, they always had him do like the dimension slash from the sword, and I was like, I mean, that's cool and all, but that rider kick is so good. Why would you make it so good and then never use it?
So good. They had that problem a bunch on those where they'd introduce something like Gata Kiriya, where it would have the like the multiple forms, and then later on they're like, oh, that's really expensive to do. We can't do that all the time.
Yeah, budget.
Yeah.
And because of that, every time O shows up, they more than make up for it because he immediately does Gata Kiriya like every time.
Uh-huh.
So.
Got a movie budget to deal with now.
Yeah. Like me personally, I didn't really care for the O's movie all that much, but that climax was amazing. So I'll always love Gata Kiriya for that. Like, but yeah, speaking of Gata Kiriya, look at what we just got.
Hey, new combo.
Yeah, and Gata Kiriya is deceptively good in this game. It's funny.
Deceptively good.
Yeah, because in most games like this, they give you stuff in order of like least good to most good just for game balance things, right? But honestly, Gata Kiriya's like really, really good, like from the get-go. So, like, I'm gonna show off some of the stuff it can do right here, obviously, because they force you to play it a little bit. And
long range.
But yeah, like look at that, bam! That's so stylish. Yeah. And then, you know, you can shoot lightning, you can multiply like this. Like, so
cool.
I don't remember you doing this as much.
It's stuff that I discovered you could do when I replayed this game for like the 80th time. So.
That explains a lot. Because
Yeah.
I would have remembered fucking you doing Shadow Clone Jutsu on the stream.
Yeah. Which, by the way, these clones are super helpful. I love them.
I can
looks
see
like
they
it.
are actually doing shit.
But yeah, Gata Kiriya was really good. So, yeah. Also, SH Ranger brought up something in the thread, because this is... it's not the first quote-unquote form gimmick we've seen, but it is like the first very prominent one. You have high jump with this. We'll see that later. He points out that this form has it, but logically so should Tatuba, because it has the Bada legs. And, yeah, and I get that, but it's just due to a game balance thing. Because, like, if they gave it to Tatuba, then they wouldn't be able to make you be Gata Kiriya in, like, an upcoming section. So I understand why they did it that way. So.
Yeah, and I mean, I think you could argue just within the world of the show that having all of the matching medals for a form gives every part of it a little bit more juice.
Yeah. 96 missed calls! Oh boy! I like Philip's idea. Let it keep ringing.
It's going for the high score.
Right? But yeah, here's everyone's favorite character from Double.
I mean, look, I think Akiko's got a lot of weird stuff with her husband, but her just being the boss of Shotaro the entire season is great. It's just great. It's a smart move.
I'm of the opinion that I found her insufferable early on, but as the show goes, she got a lot of really good character development, so I ended up liking her. So.
Yeah. I mean, they definitely. I mean, obviously, everything with her dad and all that sort of stuff being in the background is a thing the show has to keep coming back to, and all of that is really depressing stuff.
Oh yeah. Hurry up and get this over with, but it's an 11-hour game.
Oh yeah, it is.
But anyway, with that, we're coming up on the end of this, so thank you guys for joining me, and it was a lot of fun, as always.
Yes.
Thanks for having me.
Always. Till next time, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
セキュリティロックが解除されました。